Right, welcome back. Let's take a look at our trending topics now, and here they are. First up this morning, we have hashtag FIFA World Cup, and I think this is going to be there for the rest of the month.
It is.
FIFA World Cup, of course, 3 matches yesterday. I must say, I'm getting into it now. I actually sat through, the first 2 matches. The third one, Eskom and load shedding, and then my.
Yeah. Like, who were Eskom playing? The way you said Eskom and I'm like, what?
Eskom was playing load shedding.
Okay, were they playing load shedding? Okay, and they, yeah, it wasn't a fun match.
Yeah,
this was a match though. What a match! Netherlands, Senegal.
Yeah, but you know what? Netherlands finally, winning in the end. Late goals there, but I don't see either one of them really troubling the real contenders.
Yeah. Well, let's wait and see. You never know. But that was a brilliant match so far. I think the match of the games.
I think
so
they were
far.
flat. Leanne.
You think so?
You enjoyed that game?
Oh man, I thought they were.
I thought they were so flat.
But as you mentioned, it's Sadio Mane absence. Oh man, it would be just if he was there, I think it may have been a very different score. But yeah, and then there was of course England and Iran. That was the first match.
I actually enjoyed that more than I enjoyed Senegal, Netherlands. Good start for England.
Yeah.
My boy Chile scoring 2 there, so it was good.
All right, and then USA Wales. So that was a good clash, and also one that went on, and that was where we said Eskom and load shedding played against each other. So that was FIFA World Cup, and like we say, this you might as well just leave that trend is going to be #1 until who knows the end of the fixtures. So you can just imagine that's going to be one we'll talk about every morning. Today is Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, today is Tuesday.
Right.
Chris Hani, this is the other big story. And of course, this is going to be on discussion in a couple of minutes' time now. So as you heard, Janis Valos, the man who killed Chris Hani back in 1993, released on parole. He's been ordered that within 10 days he needs to be released. He served 28 years in prison. And this is a story that has gotten reaction far and wide. But I think the late Chris Hani's wife, Dimpo Hani, was the most vocal, and certainly an emotional reaction that she gave, which we do have in our news bulletin, and not happy at all by that verdict. I mean, the SACP also saying they're going to take this to the streets. They are so upset about this. There's been a lot of reaction to it, and just the reaction has been one of not a happy South Africa.
Yeah, and this has been coming for a while. We've had these parole application by Janis Valos for a few years now, and finally it got to the Constitutional Court. And the sad thing here, if you will, from the family's perspective, is, as they say, they lost a loved one that will never come back to them. And here you have this man who was responsible for that loss, for their pain, who will now be released. But it was not just about that. It was a man who brought this country to the precipice through the murder of Chris Hani. And this man is being set free. If we go by the letter of the law, it probably is something that needed to happen. But as Dimpo Hani says, what about them? Were they taken, their feelings, their hurt and pain into consideration? But we'll speak about that with our legal expert as well.
It's a big conversation. You don't want to miss this one, because it really is a very emotive ruling that carries a lot of discussion with it. Jacob Zuma also trending there, and it's again another court ruling that came out yesterday. You remember, I mean, we won't necessarily forget that very quickly, but Zuma, of course, been ordered to go back to jail, just saying that he was unlawfully released on medical parole. So they're saying that he must return and finish serving his sentence, and this is another one up for discussion. But I'm sure by now the time has elapsed. I mean, already that 15 months.
Yes, it has.
It's kind of already.
It has lapsed.
But they want to take into account whether or not the medical parole he served is enough.
Okay, so the Correctional Services Commissioner is the one who needs to now make that sort of decision.
Yeah.
But it's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, we'll speak about that shortly in our interview with the advocate coming up after this.
And then very quickly, Glencore also right up there. Big story. We don't want to miss this one. Glencore ordered to pay £280 million for bribery scandals across Africa. They're paying the equivalent of, well, they're calling it US dollars, $313.7 million US dollars after a court found that the company paid $29 million in bribes to state-owned companies across South Africa in order to gain preferential access to the continent's oil reserves. And that's the big story that a lot of people are talking to.
They also pleaded guilty to 5 counts of bribery and 2 counts of failure to prevent bribery as part of a conspiracy to secure access to oil in Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, and South Sudan.
All right, there we go. Those are your trending topics.